Alright, I want to talk a little bit about making money on Craigslist in the appliance section. And this is for people that just want to go out and do some flipping of appliances. So we're going to come in here and we're going to take a look at some ads real quick. And what I will do is I'm going to move the screen a little bit so we can get in the right spot here. And then we're going to scroll down. Let's take a look and see what is in here. Whirlpool gas dryers. What I'm looking for are sets. So, here's a prime example. In this picture here, this is a working washer and dryer. Let's click on it. $120 for the set. Alright, so the washing machine is a little bit older, and we're going to move this back over so we can get the picture in there. And on the ad it says Whirlpool Ultimate Care 2 and a Mana dryer. So both work great. Moving can't take them. I live on Patrick Air Force Base, North Housing. You must pick up. I cannot deliver. Alright, so here's a good example of a washer and dryer. So in the value, we know we're going to pay $120 for it. If you look at this Amana dryer here, the Amana dryer can be sold in this condition by itself for about $150. So if I buy the set for $120, then I have the dryer, I sell it for $150. Now the washer is all profit. So the washing machine is going to sell for a little bit more, between $150 and $160. So there's $120. You pick it up, you turn around, you flip it, and you have the difference. Let's go back and take a look, because that's a good example right there. All right, we're going to go down, and a lot of these I pick them up for $50 to $60 for a set, or $80 for a set. Alright, we're going to scroll down. There is a GE Profile washer and dryer. This is another example. Generally, it's $125 for the set. I don't like buying the digital ones, the ones that have digital controls, because there's more of an opportunity for them to break. But if you can go to the house and you can test it, then that set, you come back, clean it up, maybe touch up a few little scratches, that set can be sold again for in the ballpark of about $300. See, if you look at the pricing on these and you say, okay, here's a set for $125. Let's clean up the set a little bit. Let's make sure that it works. Let's take a look at some of the other pictures. So, here's a spot. These need to be touched up. People don't like to buy them if they look like that. Wipe the top down, clean it up. You want to make sure it works, though. And so, here's an example. I would pass on this set because, it's rusted here. I'm not going to buy it with this rust. And it looks like it's held some water for a while. It's probably been sitting outside. So I'm going to disregard that set. I'm not going to touch it because there's obviously more to the story, even though the people say it works perfectly fine. So let's keep going here. This is my father. He's got this listed for $240, and basically he's listing this washer because there's a dent for probably $140 because of the dent. Newer style washer, and then $100 for this old dryer. And I talked to him yesterday, and I know that I think he paid like $40 for both of them, something like that. So let's go back and we're going to take another look. KitchenAid. And of course, the area that I'm in, we dominate the area by buying and flipping and getting in and out of these things very quickly. So let's see if I can scroll down and find you another item. Let's see. There's a set that is it's not one I would buy, but this is another one of the guys. When they show a 60-day warranty, $325 delivered. They're throwing in the delivery. Here's a $300 washer and dryer roper. Now this is a be careful situation here, okay? Because this is a digital machine. If you look on the ropers, the Amanas, and so forth, they've got a series of 6 lights underneath the knob. This machine is the #1 machine to go out of balance, and when it goes out of balance, it will never go back in balance. And so be careful of these designs. The dryers are perfectly fine, no problems. But that's a $300 set, and that washer may have some problems. Generally they do. I've thrown away 17 or 18 of them in the last year. In fact, number 18 is still sitting in the backyard. You know, here's a good example. This is a washer for $60. When I see something like this, I know it's a little bit further than I like to drive, but I know that I can make $100 on this. So Super Capacity Plus washer, Whirlpool, works good, cash only deal, available for a fee. For me, that's basically about a 50-minute drive to go get it. But if I don't have anything else to do, I would drive down, pick up this machine, come back, clean it up, touch up what I can, test it. Everything probably works. You know, there may be a lid switch that's bad in it. You know, sometimes there's a sock stuck in the pump, which is down here in the front of the motor. And I would buy that and flip that for a $100 profit. And I do that all the time. And it's just, there's a lot of money out there that you can make. So let's go back and see what we can find again. Of course, here's Dad's ad again. I haven't run any ads in the last, I don't know, was it a day or two? Washer and dryer. I looked at this one. I did not like the dryer that he had with it, so I kind of passed. I love this washer, though. This is an Admiral made by Whirlpool. You know, here's a good example of a GE washer and dryer. Very nice looking set for $150. Now, you know, I normally will stay away from the GEs, but lately, in the last year or so, I have come across them, and you know, it's plugged into the wall. I can get to the house, I can turn the water on, I can turn the dryer on, I can listen for squeaks and squeals in the dryer, and then I can also come over here and listen to the bearing by spinning the washing machine. So that's a good example. It looks great. $150 for the set. It's not too far from me. I probably need to go buy it. And what that allows me to do is to turn around and sell that same set. If it's quiet and everything works, I'll put it back on for about $340 to $360. And remember, people want to buy things that are more expensive. If it's too cheap, they think it's on its last leg. They would rather spend $350, $360, $380 and actually have a machine that they feel comfortable. So they'll spend more money thinking they're getting a better deal or a better value. Does that make any sense? All right, we're going to continue this up here in just a moment. I don't want this video to run too long. I want to break them up into segments. So we'll continue in the next video.